Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Bees. I'm Iris. I just got back this morning from a little long weekend and I haven't traveled for more than like a day trip, maybe a day and an overnight in ages. So I was pretty excited. I thought we would go over what I brought in my makeup bag, do a little get ready with me, and just chit chat, catch up. I haven't filmed in about 2 weeks, so let's get right on into things. Now, because I am ridiculously high maintenance, though I was spending like 2 nights in hotels and one night at my parents' house, I somehow needed two toiletry bags. I think that this one just has like medication and my toothbrush in it, but let me check real quick to make sure there's nothing I want to cover. Oh, there is something I wanted to cover. I did bring a nail polish along. It is Zoya Lennon, which is new to me, and it is so pretty. We went down south for the solar eclipse. We went to a little town in Arkansas. We stayed in Little Rock for a night, and then we went to a little town a little bit north of there that was called Atkins, I believe, and we watched the solar eclipse. So cool. Highly recommend watching at least one in your life that reaches totality. I'd seen one at like 80 to 90% before and thought it was really neat, but this was so next level. Anyway, we were outside quite a bit, and this absolutely twinkled away in the sun. It was so pretty, and I'm really happy with this. Was really happy I had this along because I felt strangely naked with bare nails. I did not like that at all. And that was the only thing of note in this bag. The rest of it was like deodorant and a toothbrush. So let's get into the bag of fun. This is a bag that I got from Hy-Vee. I believe it's like a twine and tweed or something. I really like it. I like that it is clear. I've used this as a carry-on, I think, and it was fine. Or if it wasn't exactly this one, it was a very similar, but maybe slightly smaller one. So let's get into what's in here, and I will be doing a quick get ready with me with the products that are in here as I go. But let's talk skincare really quickly. I have this little Laneige Cica sleeping mask. This is a night moisturizer for me. I used it once of the 3 nights. I wasn't great about doing my skincare, but it was nice to have along. This is a little, I think 10 ml size. Yeah, so it didn't take up too much space. It was nice to have and travel with. I also had some really good intentions of using some of my samples. So I brought this mugwort serum from Round Lab that was supposed to be calming. Thank goodness I actually didn't burn, which is great. I was so careful, but I thought that this would be really helpful if I did burn. Having a calming serum around might be great. And then I also brought 2 samples of the Elemis Pro Collagen Cleansing Balm. I just didn't end up wearing enough makeup that I felt it was necessary. I brought a Pacifica face wash. This is the Glow Baby one. I've only used it twice. No real thoughts on it yet. And the Super Goop Play lotion. This is actually full size. I got a kit from Super Goop a few months ago, and I really liked all 3 of the sunscreens that came inside. This one I think was the only full size, and like I said, I didn't get sunburned. I used this on my face, my neck, and my hands. I actually wore like this jacket thing during the event. It was a little bit too warm for it, but I figured I would much rather roast a little bit than have especially my shoulders and my upper arms exposed, because I could be really miserable getting my first real sun exposure of the year in like a 5-hour dose. So this worked really well for me. And to set that down, I'm not going to be using that today because it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got home. I don't know, like 11 a.m. We left the hotel at like 7 this morning, got home at like 11 a.m., and then I collapsed and took a really long nap. So I'm inside for the day and don't feel any great need to be putting on sunscreen. To set down my sunscreen, I brought this e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Puff and the Laura Geller Porcelain Baked, Balance, and Brighten. Both of these, great. This provides actually quite a bit of coverage. Ideally, I would have also brought along a setting spray, but I didn't feel like it was worth it to have a setting spray, which all of mine are full size. I don't have a little mini around. Bringing a like 4-ounce bottle of mist to set down makeup 2 days, that just seemed like overkill. So now we get into the actual fun stuff, the makeup. So I brought one like larger palette, partially because I love the color scheme that I have going on in this packaging. This is the In a Trance palette from ColourPop, or at least the packaging is. I would say that probably 50% of the shades in here are from the original palette. I mixed and matched all of my ColourPop tie-dye palettes. It was like the first collection that they came out with after lockdown. It was these 3 like pastel palettes. And a couple months ago, I ended up getting rid of enough shades to collapse those 3 palettes down into 2 palettes. And I think that this one ended up just gorgeous. Now, I brought this along, A, because I love the eyeshadows, but B, because it has a really nice sized mirror. I mean, the mirror takes up this entire area, and it fits my face really well. I was doing my makeup in the car, so I knew that I needed to have a decent sized mirror. I also brought along a little quad. This is from e.l.f. and it is the Bite Size eyeshadow palette in Rosewater, which is very cute. Now, as far as eye brushes go, I actually brought 2 of the same brush. This is from Eco Tools. It's like their eye brush duo. It comes with one of these that has a shader brush and then like an angled liner brush, and then the other one that comes in the duo has a like a bigger, fluffier blending brush as well as a smudger brush. And then I couldn't find like the corresponding brush from the duo. I have 2 of them, so I brought both of these. And then I found just this little blending brush from Luxie and brought that along. So the look that I think I'm going to do today is going to focus on this shade right here. It's a silvery purple. I think this might actually be the shade Mind's Eye. I don't know. Like I said, I have mixed and matched this palette to the extreme, but I just want to do something pretty quick today. So I think we're going to use some of Mind's Eye and just put that all over the lid. Which, again, pretty quick, pretty easy. Nothing too exciting going on here. I want to use a couple of different colors in the crease. I think I'm going to start out with Crown Chakra, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to use that like in the deepest part of my crease. I can use this shade to blend out more completely, but I want to bring in a shade from Rosewater. Partially just because I want to get my use in with Rosewater so that I can roll it out of my project pan. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. And I think that's looking good. I'm probably not going to even bother putting anything on my lower lash line because I'm just not feeling it today. So I'm going to go into rose water and use this matte shade. It's actually the only matte shade in the palette. So I'm just using this very lightly on the outer edges of my look. And, you know, while we're here, I think I'll bring in a little of this lightest shimmery shade and just stick a little bit of that in the inner corner. Cool. For mascara, I just have the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. I've been using it for the last, I don't know, 2 months or so. I'm not wild about it, but it gets the job done. It was such a mess down trying to get out of Arkansas yesterday. We just spent like 3 hours in traffic jams, and I was really surprised, like looking at the license plates. I figured that there would be a bunch of people from up north or further west or something trying to get out of Arkansas to go home. But like half of the license plates that we saw, at least, were Arkansas plates. And I just thought that was so strange. I mean, the path of totality went through probably 2/3 of the state, but there were so many people trying to get out of there. We just sat in traffic for like 2.5 hours. My dad drove. I went with my parents and my sister. It was really fun. It was just a good time. It was a lot of time in the car. It was, I think, 9 hours going down. And then because there was so much traffic, it was more like 11, maybe even 12 coming back. And I just assumed that it was not going to be worth it. Like, it seemed worth it when I agreed to the trip in the first place. But then as we were getting closer, like, oh my god, I cannot believe I'm going to spend 20 hours-ish in the car for an event that's going to last 3 minutes. But it was really very cool. We ended up spending a night in Little Rock, which was more fun than I had expected. They have a nice downtown area built up. We didn't go to the Clinton Library, but we were very much in that area, and they've done a lot of development around there. It was really quite nice. I didn't know what to expect. And then everyone in Atkins was so nice too. Everyone was really excited for the eclipse. It ended up being really quite impressive. I was just overall quite happy with this little trip. It turned out really well. I had a good time. It was nice to spend some more time with my sister because she lives out in Chicago. And I mean, she comes back quite often. Luckily, there's nothing breakable in there. But, you know, we're adults. We don't get to spend nearly as much time together as we did when we were younger and like lived in the same house. So that was really, really nice. Now for lip products, I actually ended up wearing my NARS Afterglow lip balm in Orgasm all of the time that I was there. But that's in my purse and I don't feel like going and grabbing it. So I have 2 options. One isn't really like a lip color. This is the Clinique lip balm. It's essentially just Vaseline, but I brought this to wear at night. And I have this Maybelline Go Green Balmy Lip Blush in the shade Midnight. I love this thing. I am so mad they discontinued this formula. I don't understand how this isn't like their top seller. I just think it's so pretty. Oh my goodness, if I had a tiny bit of chocolate stuck to my lip the entire time, I'm so sorry. I usually check for things like that before I get started, but not today. Isn't that pretty? My lips are not in great shape. I have a tendency to chew on my bottom lip, especially when I start getting anxious, and I am always anxious when I'm in the car. Doesn't matter how safe of a driver the driver is or anything, just so anxious. But it doesn't grab on to those really dry patches too badly. I mean, I can see it right now, but in 10 minutes it'll have evened itself out and look really nice. So, big fan of these. Glad I had that along. Then the only thing that I have left in my bag is this little gingham vibrant pen spray. So I'll give myself a couple spritzes of that. And I am ready for my day. I was really glad I got to do some traveling. It was really fun to film this little get ready with me for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.